Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are on the map Mithril Mountain, which we've only seen a couple of times on the channel. Our contestants today are Modulo in red playing Cortex and Ubivator playing Armada today. Now Mithril Mountain is a bit of a weird one. These metal points up here, actual high ground ones, which you would expect to be like super high value, are actually really not really worth going for. You've got the ones on the side that are worth going for, but other than that, pretty weak amount of metal up here. And because of that, what we tend to see is most players focusing on the sides instead, pretty much ignoring the middle altogether. And you can see both players already doing that by choosing to go with vehicles as start. With the rest of the map being completely flat, the vehicles is a very good choice. And because of that, you've also got, you know, 4 mexes here, 4 here, obviously the same on the other side, and then yeah, another triple there, and a triple there. So it's a lot of metal to be had. And all of the metal on this map as well is 2.0, so obviously with the exception of that. So you can see why they would choose to go vehicles here on this map. Ubivator with an early bullets out already, 2 of them, and we can see Modulo on the mini map here not having a single offensive unit. Only just now building a scout, but there's already 2 blitzes, 2 scouts on their way over to his base. Ubivator struggling with energy though, due to wind being currently at a 2, having to divest into solars a little bit to get himself up and running. Meanwhile, Modulo now building his 2nd solar, which is a lot better for him for energy wise, but still running pretty short on units. You can see these units coming in, but you may think they're all just scouts. Very good radar placement now. It's going to be hard to hide from that radar as you approach. You can see a mal extractor does get killed. Incisor versus Blitz though, Incisor seems to win out there. Will delay that con a little bit, having to rebuild that metal extractor, but not the end of the world. Modulo though does degun his own metal extractor in order to avoid a Blitz of being able to get too close. Misses the degun though. That's a lot of energy wasted there. 1,500 energy wasted on D-guns that didn't connect. Luckily enough, he's overflowing energy at the moment, so it's not the end of the world, but still, it's quite a lot of energy to throw away. Ubivator doing some good harass here with some scouts. Surprisingly not expanded as quick as possible though, because he's still only expanded to the same degree as Modulo has at this point. And may prove troublesome for Modulo here. Maybe about to lose this constructor. And yes, he does. The constructor goes down, halting the expansion of Modulo for a little bit longer now. You can see that the pressure's been on Modulo constantly. Ubivator actually stalling his expansion here a little bit. Really running into some mines. He's managed to kill the mine layer, but still. Both players being quite slow to expand here. Ubivator focusing so much on his micro that he's forgotten about this con here on the right. Could have started expanded and be close to this sort of side now, but a little bit too late. And what that means is that Modulo is actually at the same point of expansion, maybe just like 30 seconds behind now. As you can see, this con leaving at the same time as this con's halfway there. And what was a good advantage to Ubivator from killing that constructor has now kind of been wasted. Now only just moving this con that's been sat there for a good while. Also, we can see him queuing up a bit of a walled defense here. Seems like he's not planning to actually expand to that quadruple metal point for a while, it seems, which is again also surprising. I think he would have wanted to contest that corner with how much metal was there. Maybe he thinks he doesn't need it. He's applying a lot of pressure to Modulo right now. This triple metal point proving problematic for Modulo. Losing 2 of the metal points yet again. He really needs to get that LLT up sooner, maybe next time. Meanwhile, you can see both players kind of just taking their time to expand, which is quite an interesting one. I was expecting a more rapid expansion from both players here, considering how flat the map is, but no. First major clash of units taking place now as a bunch of incisors go against the blitzes, but continuing to run. Ubivator investing a lot though into mines, or at least the mine layers. Risky move, Modulo now pushing even further in, getting close to the production, and gets all of his incisors here surrounded, but manages to pull them back fine. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, the same thing attempted, but unsuccessful as well. Self-destruct on the LLT goes off just a little bit late. That's now quite a decent chunk of metal. I need a con. 700 metal there now. That's quite a lot. Ubivator does have this exposed con on the north side that Modulo is not aware of. Oh, there is a mine built, though not enough to deal with the incisors. Ubivator currently in the lead only just though. Literally a single metal extractor is all that's in it, and now that's gotten to an even point. This 700 metal though that is about to be eaten will be quite impactful here, as they've been very, very close, but now that number is going to be substantially different between them, and that 700 metal is not a lot in the grand scheme of things. We're talking, you know, 3 janitors. Still, that's 3 janitors when all you've got is blitzes. That's quite impactful. Modulo attempting to go up against Ubivator's commander here, but 4 incisors will not be sufficient for that. You're going to get 2 of them, leaving 2 of them left. Modulo splitting them up wisely enough here, and with no defenses, these metal extractors will get killed pretty quickly. Question is how much damage is Modulo going to be able to inflict now that there's not many units in base. You can also see that Ubivator did not build that higher ground radar. but actually doesn't have a radar at all in base, so he doesn't really know where these units have gone. While Modulo's having a little bit of a problem with the Janisses and blitzes. Modulo though does manage to make it to the back of the base, but he's going to continue pathing up and can't really stop, because if he does, the blitzes will kill him. Meanwhile, Ubivator's blitzes do get stopped, but not before inflicting more and more damage. Managing to take out another metal extractor, but losing 4 metal extractors there, Ubivator has put him 10 metal a second behind. Not only that, you may be able to lose this up here as well, and his expansion con, as well as another metal extractor. Those 4 incisors got tremendous value. 4 kills on that one and 7 on that one. Tremendous amount of value from just a few incisors. Mine's now still causing Modulo more problems here. These incisors will finally get killed as they get blocked off re-approaching the base. But good value from those. We can see no stouts out yet from Ubivator, just more and more blitzes with a couple of Janisses mixed in. Whereas we can see his opponent Modulo has transitioned to brutes. The LLT doesn't last very long whatsoever, but the con survives, and the con just continues to rebuild that now. And 1 blitz also survives there, but army value though is a huge amount of metal difference between the 2 players in army value, which is really surprising. Seeing almost 2k of metal difference in army value right now, and that's purely down to the switch over here to brutes. This 1 blitz has managed to make it round though, and there's been nothing sent to deal with it other than a single scout, which was not sufficient. How much value can this single blitz get? Not as much as we'd hoped. Ubivator running his tanks up the hill, which is not the move I was expecting. Meanwhile, his commies on the bottom side. Now, Modulo has been in base this entire time, by the way, just pumping out more and more units. Con does look like it might be killed here. 2 cons just sat idle from Modulo. Both players focusing quite heavily on their micro at this point. And we can see, surprisingly, a mine layer has been kept with this in order for it to provide radar jamming, which is a very good move, because thinking about using it as a mobile radar jammer this early on in a fight before Tech 2 radar jammers is quite a smart move. Ubivator has no idea where this is. And Ubivator also pushing very far forward with his commander here. In equivalent terms, his commander's position here. Of course, Modulo is in a very strong position on the right hand side as well, but how much damage will Modulo be able to inflict? He needs to be careful, can't really justify losing a lot of tanks right outside of his opponent's base. leaving a total of 1k metal right out there, but not actually inflicting any form of economy damage. So not the best of attacks, but it has contained Ubivator on his northern flank. Meanwhile, we can see Modulo building up a huge chunk of forces here that will be enough to take Ubivator's commander down. There is a radar there providing that level of vision. When will Modulo make the push? The longer he waits, the worse he is in a position to attack Ubivator rather. As LLTs now start going up, the Lashers will be able to outrange these LLTs over time. And yeah, it seems Ubivator knows he does not want to hang around and decides to fall back with his commander. Don't know if he quite made back the metal on these two LLTs that he built, but he denied his opponent metal for a short amount of time. And now that commander's going to have to keep running if it wants to survive. Meanwhile, on this north side here, all of the scouts are dead, with the exception of these three, but Janus is still left alive, pretty strong. Thing is, there's enough brutes here to push into that Janus wall pretty effectively. And it does seem that Modulo's being a bit passive here. He has good vision, actually, with his commander up in the center here. He has pretty much radar coverage of quite a lot. It's not to be laughed at. And economy-wise, let's have a look. So, Requiem is skewing things a little bit at the moment, but even though army value-wise we see Modulo in a superior position, all of the economy stats are currently advantage Ubivator. So even though Modulo has more of an army, he's not really making the most of it. And that value that he has will start to diminish as Ubivator controls more of the metal for a longer period of time. Keep an eye on this bottom side here. Finally managing to deal with some metal extractors, but just saw a lot of blitzes here, and the commander is moving to a potentially dangerous position. I'd say I've ever seen mine layers used for this purpose of providing radar jamming. Ubivator forced to initiate with his blitzes, maybe? No, both just playing a bit of a tango at the moment. A sizable group of stouts has now arrived on the front line. Almost equals the same amount of value as here, so here they go. And to be honest, yeah, I was about to say Modulo needs to run, he can't really fight that now. His advantage that he had for a very long period of the game has now been lost. And bombers are on the way in. Again, not getting as much value as you would think. Gunships are, though, going around and dealing with a bunch of the expansion. Modulo's central position here with his commander is going to cause some problems, but it mostly just provides vision. The radar jammer also has repair and like reclaiming functionality. I think it has reclaiming, so it just has repair functionality. Using the scouts there to get rid of the Janus shots. Problem is that the Januses are fully rearmed before they even get close. This northern side, the tank force here looking a bit dwindled. All of them smoking. This is probably the most contentious part of the map right now. If we can get control of these 4 metal extractors away from Ubivator, it's going to be tough for Ubivator to get that back in control. This would give Modulo over half the map. Surprisingly though, Modulo's comm running away. He didn't. I was about to say he never reclaimed those high value mexes, but he's now just decided to do it now. So look at Modulo's view here. With that one radar up there now, he's got vision of a lot of the map. You can basically see where Ubivator's base is, as well as these attacks. And surprisingly, Modulo keeps backing down from these fights with the Januses, rather than going in on them. All these units pushing in on Ubivator's commander a little bit here. Set target has been put on Ubivator's comm. Still not enough forces to break through, but Ubivator now losing an additional 4 metal points. Ubivator being pushed further and further back. He did have a good advantage at one point, Ubivator, when it came to metal extraction, but the transition to Tech 2 may save his day. He gets the metal extractors from Tech 2 up and running. So far yet to start. Just started on one now, but the Tech 2 vehicles will prove difficult for Modulo to deal with just Tech 1. But all it takes is that comm to die, and that comm is moving further and further forward. Trying to decide if Modulo seems like he wants to go in, and still a bit indecisive here. He could just push through and get some eco damage, but he will lose that entire force. Or does he want to stay on the defensive? Currently it looks like a huge bunch of tanks are making their way down to the Ubivator's commander here, intending to surround the commander. And there we go, another group of 15 tanks have grouped up with this bottom force. Now Ubivator's comm in a desperate struggle to survive. All the D-guns going off, but it won't be enough. Ubivator gets caught out of position, and Modulo wins the game. Very well thought out attack there, clearly positioning his forces to make Ubivator stay on the other side, and then surprised him from behind with those additional tanks. Well played, Modulo. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all next time.